The story begins in the city of Hong Kong, where everything seems to be going normally. But suddenly, a terrifying tsunami strikes and floods the entire city. People start running in search of safe places to save their lives, but the strong currents sweep many away. Only those who hide in higher places manage to survive. In just a few hours, nearly half of Hong Kong's population is wiped out. 5 years later, we see a girl named Asha, who still wakes up terrified from nightmares of that disaster. Every morning, she tries to gather courage and continue living. She lives alone in a tall building surrounded by ruins and hides her essential items carefully so no one can discover her. She has made several hiding spots inside the apartment. She even hides inside a hole in the couch if needed. Every day, she goes to the rooftop, collects clean drinking water, and stores it secretly. After sipping her morning tea, she listens to the radio. But whenever recorded government messages start playing, saying shelters have been opened for survivors with food and clothes, she quickly switches the station to music. To avoid attracting attention, she uses headphones. She collects morning dew with a towel and fills her water bottles. She carefully measures her remaining water supply, as it hasn't rained in a long time. After completing her chores, she eats instant noodles and remembers the fancy restaurants she once visited with friends. Later, she uses a telescope to scan the area, but only the tops of buildings are visible. The rest are submerged. Occasionally, buildings collapse into the water. She also keeps track of a few surviving neighbors. One day, she notices a floating box and rushes to another window. Using a hook-like device, she tries to pull the box in, but something in the water pulls it away, causing her to hit her arm on the window's edge. Despite the pain, she tries again. This time, the creature lets go of the box, but Asha falls into the water and gets splashed. When she opens the box, she finds trash and a bottle of alcohol. She takes it back to the rooftop, cleans her wound with the alcohol, and bandages it. In the evening, she hears some noise and sees 2 boats with dangerous looters attacking her neighbors. She spots a man on a nearby roof watching her building through binoculars. Alarmed, she hides. Thinking the looters might come to her building, Asha quickly hides her supplies and scatters dust on the floor to make it seem like no one lives there. Then she hides behind a false wall in an old wardrobe. The looters enter and search for food, but find nothing. Suddenly, a gunshot startles Asha. It was fired by a boy who thought he saw something move, but it was a false alarm. After they leave, Asha relaxes and cheers herself up by remembering happy times. Before the disaster, she used to live with her stepsister. They dined at restaurants and had fun together. The next day, Asha finds another floating box. Among the items inside is a jar of honey, which makes her very happy. But then she sees a dead body floating nearby, which ruins her joy. While she's busy with chores, someone sneaks into her apartment and steals from her hidden stash. Asha hears some noise, but ignores it at first. When the noise continues, she checks with a flashlight, but finds nothing. So she leaves some soap behind as bait and finally spots a young girl stealing her belongings. Asha grabs her shoulder, but the girl kicks her and runs away with a few more items, including a homemade lamp. The girl escapes as Asha chases her. That night, Asha dreams of buying clothes for her sister's birthday. In the dream, her sister calls her best friend and says she left her parents to live with Asha. Asha wakes up and notices her food container is missing. She follows the empty wrappers and finds the girl asleep beside the lamp. She doesn't wake her and goes to cook more food. Meanwhile, the girl wakes up and searches for more hiding spots. She finds an envelope with a picture of Asha and her sister. Just then, Asha returns. The girl runs away, and Asha hurriedly puts the photos back, unaware one has fallen on the floor. Later, Asha makes noodles again and brings them to the girl. This reminds her of the birthday when her parents gifted their family necklace to her sister instead of her. Asha had been angry because she believed, as the elder daughter, She deserved it. They argued, and Asha stormed out. Back in the present, Asha is shown wearing that same necklace. The girl refuses the food, so Asha leaves it there and walks away. But the girl eats all the food after she leaves and finds that Asha even left a mattress for her, though she doesn't use it. The next morning, the girl returns all the items she stole. Asha makes 2 portions of noodles for breakfast, leaves, one for the girl, and eats hers on the rooftop. A little while later, the girl also joins her. The girl starts imitating Asha, which makes both of them laugh, and they start bonding. Asha is reminded of her old days when she used to be this happy. In the evening, the girl uses the mattress Asha had given her and sleeps beside her. Suddenly, she starts crying and tries to hide her tears. Asha tells her that if crying helps ease the pain, then it's okay to cry. The girl tells Asha that she misses her family a lot and is building a small boat so she can find her mother. She then tells Asha her name is Hey Hey. That night, Asha again has terrifying dreams. In the morning, she takes Hey Hey to the rooftop to freshen up. Hey Hey starts playing with the bathroom door, and the tape holding the latch comes off. Asha shuts the door, but accidentally it locks from the outside and they can't open it. Asha becomes upset, but Hey Hey manages to unlock it, impressing Asha later. When Asha is preparing breakfast, she realizes her necklace is missing. She hears some noise, and when she checks, she sees that the looters have returned. She tells Hey Hey to remain silent until they leave. Once they're gone, Asha begins combing Hey Hey's hair. Hey Hey asks her to come along with her, to which Asha replies that this is her home and she can't leave it. Plus, there's nothing left outside. Asha then asks Hey Hey if she took the necklace. Hey Hey denies it, gets offended by the accusation, and runs off to another apartment. That evening, Asha eats dinner alone. When she goes looking for water, she sees Hey Hey using it for cleaning. This sends her into another flashback, where she remembers hearing about a storm in a neighboring country. Her mother had told her to settle down and get married, which had led to a heated argument. That night, Asha had her worst nightmares. In the morning, she wakes up to find multiple corpses floating in the water. For a moment, Asha mistakes Hey Hey for her own sister and teaches her how to use electricity in the building. But Hey Hey doesn't seem interested. She asks about the locked door at the end of the corridor. Asha warns her not to go near it, saying it smells horrible and opening it would make it unbearable to stay in the building. Again, Asha falls into a flashback where she's watching news about Singapore soon being submerged by floods. Her mother turns off the TV and tells her the whole family is coming over, so she should get ready. Asha gets angry, says her family has caged her, and storms out of the house. Back in the present, Hey Hey listens to a government broadcast on the radio about available shelters. She runs to Asha and insists they go. Asha refuses, warning her that going outside is too dangerous. They argue, and Hey Hey calls Asha angry and bitter before leaving. Asha follows her and finds her packing to leave. Hey Hey also has a flare gun. Asha quickly grabs it and tells Hey Hey that she had once tried to leave, but returned due to the terrible conditions outside. They hug, and Asha remembers her sister trying to convince her to come home after an argument with their parents. But she had refused, saying they would keep meeting outside instead. In the present, it suddenly starts raining. Asha and Hey Hey happily collect as much water as they can. While working, Hey Hey notices Asha's necklace lying on the ground. At the same time, Asha finds the lost photo and becomes emotional. Hey Hey comforts her, saying, "At least we have each other." That night, when Asha goes to sleep, she finds the necklace under her pillow. She realizes it had fallen due to a broken hook and feels bad for suspecting Hey Hey. The next morning, she spends the entire day building the boat, which makes Hey Hey very happy. Then Asha remembers her sister telling her she had put the necklace in her jacket right before a massive tsunami had hit and people started running in panic. Back in the present, Asha gifts the necklace to Hey Hey. Then the two begin packing their belongings into the boat to leave. While listening to the radio, Hey Hey accidentally disconnects the headphones, causing music to play loudly throughout the building. Asha quickly turns it off, but hears signs that looters are approaching again. They hurriedly begin hiding their stuff. Asha sends Hey Hey to hide behind the false wall in the cupboard and hides herself in the stinky room where she finds her old family album because it was once her own apartment. The looters enter through the window, and this time they search more aggressively, destroying everything they find, including the boat. One of them enters the smelly room and covers his nose with a cloth to survive the stench. As the looter lifts some old bed sheets, he finds the bodies of Asha's parents underneath. Shocked, he starts vomiting. At that moment, Asha recalls the horrifying scene when the tsunami waves destroyed everything in their path, killing hundreds of people within seconds. Everyone was pushing each other in a panic to save themselves. Asha, trying to escape with her sister, climbs the stairs of a building, but soon the crowd follows. Back in the present, the looters take all the food and stare at Asha's photograph. Suddenly, one of them notices the cupboard and suspects something. They all help move it, and eventually, they find Hey Hey hiding there. Meanwhile, hidden in the smelly room, Asha hears everything and falls into another flashback. While climbing the stairs, her sister slips and is trampled by the crowd. Asha, terrified, doesn't realize her sister is missing until it's too late. In the present, a frightened Hey Hey reveals Asha's location to the looters. They find and knock Asha unconscious. When she regains consciousness, she's tied with ropes, and one of the looters tries to take advantage of her. Just then, his boss calls him away. Afterward, the looters load their supplies and Hey Hey onto the boat. They drag Asha outside too. Seeing Hey Hey reminds Asha of her sister, and she decides not to repeat her past mistake. With determination, Asha jerks the rope. The looters respond by yanking her, causing her to fall into the water. There she finds a broken ladder and uses it to attack a looter. He tries to drown her, but Asha manages to pull out her flare gun and shoots him. The gunshot alerts the others, who rush back inside. Unable to find her, they split up to search. One of the larger looters hears crying and goes to investigate, but it was Asha's trick. She ties him up and beats him to death with a guitar. Then she picks up a knife and turns on the radio in another room to lure the next looter. When he arrives, she jumps him from behind and stabs him. They fight fiercely, and he nearly chokes her, but she manages to grab the knife and stabs him, repeatedly until he dies. Meanwhile, a female looter arrives, drawn by the noise. Asha pours oil on her, shoves her into a room with fire, locks the door, and burns her alive. Her screams reach the gang leader, who follows the sound. As he climbs the stairs, Asha ambushes him. A brutal fight ensues. He strangles her, but she breaks free, grabs a fluorescent tube to darken the room, and kills him with it. When she turns on her flashlight, another looter appears and starts shooting. Asha flees to the roof, tricks him into a room, locks him in, and walks away despite his fake pleas for mercy. Now only one looter is left guarding Hey Hey on the boat. Asha tries to attack him using her grappling hook from the window, but misses. As he investigates the noise, Hey Hey pushes him into the water. He pulls her in too, but Asha jumps in to save her. Suddenly, a sea creature appears and devours the looter. Shortly after, both girls resurface and climb back onto the boat safely. They begin their journey toward the shelter, relieved that the supplies left by the looters are enough to reach their destination. That night, for the first time, Asha sleeps peacefully, and with this, the amazing movie comes to an end.